This is John Frusciante, and you're watching Dots Music. As I write my songs, I'm always singing them for my friends. You know, when I write a song, normally before it's ever recorded, I've already played it for maybe 5 different people. And they're always focusing on me when I'm playing it for each person. And you know, to me, one person is no different than 200 people or 250,000 people. To me, the spirits are really who I'm playing it for. The spirits inside of the people, and you know, a person can be infested with, 100 different spirits, or, they can be in the air, they can be hiding in places, they can make themselves really small. Wherever there's nothing, they are, even when I'm writing in a notebook, I feel like I've got all these ghosts looking at me. I feel like I'm being watched all the time, so I'm very used to being a focus of attention. As you know, I think a lot of people are being watched, by ghosts all the time. They aren't aware of it, but maybe it's part of the reason that they're scared to be focused on by a lot of people, like scared to go up in front of a crowd or something. But to me, being by yourself in a room and writing a song is no different than playing a song for a bunch of people. To me, they're both the same thing. I feel like I'm getting an equal amount of attention, whether I'm alone or with a bunch of people.
How important is it to actually take the album out to a live setting? Because sometimes sort of solo albums, they kind of just make them and then carry on with the usual.
Well, I'm not trying to recreate the album. It's like the album is all electronic, except for my singing and my guitar. Live, I'm just playing the songs the way they were written, just me and my guitar, as well as I'm doing a lot of songs by a lot of my favorite artists, and I'm doing a couple of songs from my first album and a couple from my second album. The songs that I do off my new album are I think it gives people a good perspective on the songs to hear them the way they were written, without all the textures that I've added to them in the recording process. On my first solo album, it was all done while I was in the Chili Peppers. It was released after I'd quit the Chili Peppers, and after I had quit playing music. I realized that it was maybe going to be the last music that I'd ever make, so I decided to release it because I had quit playing guitar.
Right.
When I recorded the music, I had no intention of releasing it. And my second solo record was predominantly from that same period. I was just taking extra songs that I hadn't used from my first album that were like left over, and I put them on my second album. During the whole time I wasn't in the band, I think I only recorded 3 songs the whole 6 years.
Right.
And those 3 songs are on my second album.
So what kind of prompted this album?
Well, being in the Chili Peppers, I'm focusing on my guitar playing constantly, but it's a natural function for me to write songs because I have a style of songwriting that is an identity unto myself, and it has nothing to do with the Chili Peppers. And these songs are written late at night after I've been working, on the Chili Peppers, writing the Chili Peppers songs all day, and then at nighttime just a song comes to me and I just write it, and it happens very quickly.
Is it a release kind of stuff that you can?
It's just something I naturally do. It's like breathing. I mean, it's not, there's no forethought. It's not there for any purpose other than to make myself feel good, and because I love singing and I love writing lyrics. That's why I write my songs. But a lot of my songs were written, a lot of songs on my album, they were written in hotel rooms, I think I live, eat, and breathe music all the time. All I think about is music. So, naturally, I write songs, I don't just repeat the songs that I've already written, I'm here to make music, and I'm in the last 3 years, I've probably written in the neighborhood of about 80 songs, It's natural that I should release 15 of them, and in a year I'll release some more, I've already recorded some great ones since my album that are completely different style, you know. Well, in the Chili Peppers, it's like a song starts out as just a little 5-second riff that repeats, that's cool as a guitar part or a bass part, and if you have a little bass line, I'll have a little guitar riff, and you know, you bring it to the band, and we all as a band piece riffs together, and sort of, you know, we piece a song together. It's a very slow kind of process. From the moment one of us gets the initial idea for a song, or the moment a song is initiated, maybe while we're jamming or improvising at rehearsal, it might be 5 months or 6 months before that song is actually finished as a song. You know, my songs come to me, and from the moment I get the idea till the moment that the song is done is about an hour or 2 hours. I don't stop writing with the notebook until the song is finished. You know, that's the way my songs come to me. So they're two completely different kinds of inspirations that come completely different way. As far as the recording goes, Chili Peppers, obviously it's a band playing my music. It's me. It's me just trying to mirror the feelings because I hear the textures in my head as feelings, and then I try to find the electronic sounds to match the feelings in my head, and that's, you know, that's what the process of recording my songs, my solo songs, is about.
Which do you prefer?
There's no preference. They're both natural functions of existing. It would be like asking you, you know, what do you like more, breathing in or breathing out? I mean, you know.
How does this latest album differ from the previous two? Do you has changed for that?
Well, it's completely different. I mean, I think I'm coming from the same place, but I think then I was a lot more erratic and kind of scattered, and now I make sure that every single note is in its perfect place, and that things don't come out of left field at you all the time, or jump up from behind you. You know, everything you're hearing is in its perfect place, and every song is completed. My first couple albums, a lot of the time I'd be improvising the singing. I was sort of trying to find myself as a songwriter when I was making the music that I released as those two albums. The songs were more experiments than they were actual compositions. And now, ever since I started playing guitar again 3 years ago and writing songs again, which I didn't write any songs until I joined the Chili Peppers, and then my songs started coming out of me again. It's been my idea to, when the inspiration for a song comes to me, it's my responsibility to finish that song and to make it, you know, to make it the best it can be, you know, and at that time, when I made my first couple records, I was more concerned with what kind of spirits can I gather up, what kind of feelings can I gather up to make this, you know, to make a sound that's like nothing else, you know. Now that I've got that, I know what spirits I'm working for, I know what part of the universe I represent, I know what feelings I'm supposed to give to people, you know. It's just a matter of you know, of making sure that every song is finished, you know, and recording them the best that I can record them, you know. If it hadn't been for my discovery of punk rock, I can't imagine what would have happened to me, you know, because I had so many confusing feelings, you know, as a little kid, and to find that there was people who I felt like we were made of the same thing, that we were feeling the same things, that we were breathing the same air, and that we were experiencing the same kind of pain, is what made me feel good about my pain and good about my confusion, you know, and it, you know, ever since then, it's just like, if I think about a musician that I really love, it's a type of meditation for me. It soothes my head and it makes me feel good, you know, when nothing else could. I mean, if there was nothing but just, you know, the buildings and the houses and the windows and the streets, life wouldn't be worth living. It's because of the music, you know, and paintings and artists and musicians and movies. That's what makes life, you know, wonderful, is these bursts of beauty that come up from people who are creative, and just by images of people, you know. Like if I think of David Bowie, I get a very soothing sensation throughout my whole body, just because I love him, you know.
What you mentioned as well, that you gave up writing and playing. What prompted you to kind of start again?
Well, it was because when I gave it up, I was painting and drawing all the time, you know, and at a certain point, I finally realized that I was actually deprogressing as a visual artist. My paintings got more and more spread out and less focused, and so I started drawing, and then the more I devoted myself to being better technically as a visual artist, the more I just had to go right back to the beginning. And the last stuff I was doing was just tracing Da Vinci things all the time, which is the way a person would normally start. Whereas, like, I started by doing these paintings with really nice compositions and scenes and stuff, and really laid out well, you know, and well balanced and stuff. And I ended by tracing things. So I felt like the kind of paintings that who had this refined sort of opinions about art and what I liked and what I didn't like, for me to do the types of paintings that I wanted to do and the types of drawings that I wanted to do might have taken another 20 years if I ever would have been able to do them, because they required a lot of technical skill that I didn't have. And I realized that with music that I did have that skill, you know, and that even though I didn't have it anymore, I could get it back, you know. Probably in 8 months or so, or a year, that I could probably get back to the same technical place that I was at when I quit. And with that technique and with my new understanding of art, that I could make music with the mind of a painter in a very clear way, and I could I could make the kind of music exactly what I want to make. You know, if I made paintings, I would make paintings that were these machines that are fourth-dimensional machines that make you, a machine that makes you look like you're looking at a picture of a flower, you know, and so that's the kind of music I make, you know, because I can do that with music. I wouldn't be able to do it with a pencil or a paintbrush. We're going to make a record when I finish this little promotional tour of Europe for my record. Then I'm going to go back to LA, and we're going to go into a rehearsal studio.
You got songs done?
No, we've got a few started. We rehearsed for a few days before these South American shows that we just played, and we played very little actual songs for the shows. We were more just jamming and coming up with ideas for new songs, and it was great. I loved the new sound so much.
What sort of thing can we expect?
Well, you know, we let the air sort of play us, you know. We let the energy that's there in the room when the four of us get into the room take over, and we just let it run its course. So it's unbeknownst to me really what it's going to sound like. I know the other day the stuff we were playing, it was some of it sounded like, for one thing, Flea was playing with a pick a lot, because he's been learning a lot of Peter Hook from Joy Division's bass lines, and he's getting really good with a pick, and I've been playing in a different sort of a way that's kind of influenced by this electronic music that I listen to, that I learn on the guitar, things that are sequencer parts and stuff, and then I learn them on the guitar. So I'm approaching the guitar from a completely different headspace than somebody who thinks of it as a guitar. And the music we were doing, some of it was reminding me of like the early Public Image, and that I was playing this sort of textural wall of sound kind of thing, and that there was an influence of like dub music in some of it, and it was real, it was real spacious. Chad was playing like really interesting beats, and really he was doing some great beats that were reminding me of David Barbarossa from Bow Wow, and he was playing in a really surprisingly textural kind of a way, because he's a real basher, and he wasn't really playing like that. He was really artistically playing like really balanced out things, and some of it was really heavy music, and some of it just felt really good. I mean, how can you describe these things? They're feelings. I know the feeling of our next album very clearly in my head. As far as what actual forms of styles of music it's going to be, who knows, But I know that there's a lot of new rhythms and new sounds for people to hear, and we're gonna make them. Everything we do, it's gonna be fresh.